Last week, I showed you Wanbo's two new small projectors, the T2 Ultra and DALI 1, and I did a full review of the T2 Ultra, which you can see here if you'd like. Today, I want to review Wanbo's smallest and cheapest projector, the DALI 1, which in my opinion is a steal for the features it offers for just $100. I loved it, even a little more than the Wanbo T2 Ultra. Let's watch the video. The Wanbo DALI 1 is one of two new small projectors launched by Wanbo and is Wanbo's smallest and cheapest portrait projector, making it an ideal choice for those on a budget. Inside the box, you'll find a small quick start guide, the projector itself, a power cable, a voltage adapter, and a white Bluetooth remote control. The projector is adorable, guys. It looks like the old Wanbo T2 Max but on steroids. The DALI 1 looks really cute, is very comfortable and pleasant to hold, and is also really small at only 12 cm tall. It's even smaller than my cell phone. On the front, it has a 3 cm glass lens and an autofocus sensor. On the sides, there are only the brand logos, and on the top, a single power button. On the back, there are all the connections, a power input, a reset button, a USB 2.0 input, an HDMI input, an indicator LED, and an analog audio output. It also has this grill, which when removed reveals a removable dust filter for cleaning. It also includes two small fans for cooling the system. I don't think you expected this small projector to have such a large filter, right? Finally, it has two 5-watt speakers that sound surprisingly good, and at the bottom, it has a 1/4 inch tripod socket. However, they'll also send you a mini angled base, which is very useful for projecting at any vertical projection angle. The DALI 1 is a small projector, but with all the quality and guarantee of the Wanbo brand, it is built in one of the brand's best-known formats, the vertical one, and that makes it extremely portable and manageable. And according to 2025, it integrates all of Wanbo's new projection technologies, such as the front micro camera with its powerful ASA algorithm for the 4 focus corrections and an improved cooling system with 2 mini fans, and this puts it at the technological level of the larger and more expensive models. This little projector has almost everything, and I say almost because it is not full HD, but only HD. But despite that, I love this projector. One is because I already put it hand in hand with the Wanbo T2 Ultra, which is full HD, and it did not look out of place at all. And the other is because of its price, since if you look for it in the Wanbo store, you can buy it for only $99 only before May 13th. And since it is a promotion for Labor Day, they will give you a mini angular base and a 100-inch anti-white light projection cloth, and with those gifts, the projector will cost you practically $50. Another good news is that shipping isn't that expensive, considering it's shipped by DHL, only $37 to almost anywhere in the Americas. I also have a coupon called DALI 1 Javi, but it will only be valid when this promotion ends, as this projector is already on sale for now. I think $99 is an excellent price which you should take advantage of if you are on a budget, since this small projector has the latest Wanbo technologies and even has Wi-Fi 6, and its specifications are quite acceptable for a projector that could be ideal for a kid's room. Friend, it is not so much to encourage you to buy it, but as a reflection. This projector is small, it is cheap, and although it is not full HD, it has the backing of a brand that is dedicated to making projectors throughout the world and is recognized. I say this because in my country, Peru, they are abusing with the purchase of this projector, the fateful HY350. A completely mediocre projector, this belongs to the HY series, like the HY300, the HY320, and the HY350, of which I am making a video of the 3, because they are completely disappointing projectors. I have completely disassembled them, and they are the worst quality plastics I have seen. It does not have polarizing glass, it does not have an autofocus system, they are not completely sealed, and the worst thing is that they cannot be repaired. And I have a long chat list on my WhatsApp asking me to repair this projector, and I'm not going to do it. The worst thing is that these projectors cost between 500 and 600 sols in my country, and they don't give you anything for free, while this one costs less than 500 sols and they give you a base and a white cloth, including shipping. That's what I mean by support. You can't give away your money for something mediocre like this, and it's 1,000 times better to buy a projector with a certain brand reputation. Wanbo is a renowned brand, and its products can be repaired. I'm telling you this because I repair a lot. And I'm also telling you this because these products can't be repaired. They're one use only. If you have a HY350, it'll last until my brother dies, because after that, no one will repair it. If you have a Wanbo, a Biotech, another better known and renowned brand that truly focuses on projectors, then you have a future with your projector, and the Wanbo is one of them. The Wanbo DALI 1 is a compact and small projector, and since it's small, its strong suit isn't its brightness. According to the brand, it has a brightness of 350 NC lumens, which should be enough to project in dark rooms. Be careful, throughout this video, don't lose sight of this number, because for that price, it's obviously supposed to have some disadvantages, but it also has several advantages, such as its autofocus, automatic corrections, Wi-Fi 6, etc. With this, Wanbo aims to update its older series of low-budget projectors, such as the popular Wanbo T2 Max, but with more modern specifications. For me, the DALI 1 has 3 limitations: certification, brightness, and resolution. But I want to explain why these are the case in a low-budget project. First of all, for only $99, which in my country, Peru, is equivalent to about 370 sols, you can't demand too much from a projector, so you won't get certification. In fact, I don't know of a projector for less than $150 that has an official Google certificate, because that's what it costs. So certification is out of the question because the price of the DALI 1 doesn't allow for it. The DALI 1 integrates an Android system, but it's not certified. The good thing is that of the 2 most widely used uncertified Android interfaces, the DALI 1 integrates the most complete, which is the one you're seeing on the screen, while this one is the most basic. And although it's not certified, the system runs quite smoothly, has very comprehensive configuration options, different image and sound modes, all the correction functions of a more expensive projector, and even autofocus, all for less than $99. Secondly, the brightness. In an LCD projector, the brightness is completely dependent on its size, and as this is a very small projector, it would be assumed that it would have less brightness, but 350 ANSI lumens is not that bad either. Even with some light, the DALI 1 is relatively well seen. Although let's be clear, this projector is designed to be used in dark environments, and in those conditions you will get the most out of it. Thanks to its small angled base, which comes as a gift until May 13th, you can avoid buying a tripod, since you can put it on a table of any height because you can adjust the projection angle yourself, and the DALI 1 responds very quickly to correction. That's why I think this small angled base is an important help, and best of all, if you buy it in this offer, it comes free since it normally costs $19. To confirm its 350 lumens, I projected a white screen, and look, for $99, it's not bad at all, right? And in a completely dark room, you'll be able to see very well with this brightness intensity. And that's not even a reflective gray fabric. When projecting a black screen, you can see that there aren't many light leaks, which is why it achieves a relative darkness of around 90%. Regarding the color quality it generates, I see them relatively well, clean and not too saturated. Keep in mind that it's not such a small projection. I'm projecting in my living room at almost 120 inches, even with some external light coming through my gate, so I think it passes the test. Thirdly, there is the resolution, and it is the first thing that all projectors cut to reduce their cost. The DALI 1 is a projector with HD resolution. That is 1280 720 pixels, and it is something that I expected since this projector incorporates all of Wanbo's technologies. But they had to cut something to reach those $99. So let's see a little more how much this affects the user experience. While it's true that a full HD projector will always have better resolution, it's also true that they cost a lot more depending on the quality. And another important aspect is the use you intend to give it. If it's a projector for your living room, it definitely has to be a full HD projector or a 4K projector if you have the money to buy one. But if you want to give it a more conservative use, such as for a children's room, your elderly parents' room, or even as a low-cost gift, I think the DALI 1 is a cheap option, but with the Wanbo quality we're already familiar with. As for image quality, due to its HD resolution, well, my friend, I test projectors in my living room at a distance of at least 4 or 5 meters, and I can assure you, not assure no, I can guarantee you that at this distance, it's almost impossible to see the pixels, and it's also very difficult to see them at 2 or 3 meters. You'd have to get very close, much closer to start seeing them, and at this distance, nobody is going to look at a projector. With this, I'm not trying to justify a projector with HD resolution, but I remind you once again that it only costs $19, including 2 gifts, and I think that's a fair price. I'm currently testing this projector in my bedroom. I know it's a projector for dark environments, but I also wanted to try it during the day in a room with curtains. While it's not perfect, at least the viewing quality and sound quality are fine. It's 2 p.m. and I took the opportunity to install an APK file for retro games, and I had a great time during a bit of downtime. But honestly, it's not a projector for brightly lit environments, but only for dark environments. If you weigh up the pros and cons of the DALI 1, that it only costs $19, that you get some really useful freebies like the angled stand and white light blocking fabric, that it does all the work of a projector, and that it could also work in a room where you don't want to put a big heavy TV, nor pay for one, then this is a projector that could be worth it for a little money, and you wouldn't have to mind that it's HD clear. The HD resolution quality of a projector is a limitation, yes, but it is not a major obstacle either when it comes to a projector that integrates all the correction functions with Wi-Fi 6, because what it has and doesn't have is compensated, and in this projector there is a good cost-benefit balance which makes it very attractive. In short, if I had a very low budget, I would choose this DALI 1 far above a mediocre projector like the HY350, which is nowhere near as good in terms of build quality, cannot be repaired, and is also more expensive, since in my country the Heavy 350 sells for between 500 and 600 sols, and they don't give you anything for free, while the DALI 1 could cost around 495 with shipping included, but with a base and a projection screen, so all around it's a better choice. And I also say this for the long list of followers who have written to me asking me to repair one of these HY series projectors, and unfortunately I have to answer them that I cannot do it because these projectors of unknown brand are practically single use. They do not have standard polarizing glass, and when they break, the LCD screen breaks, whose replacement plus labor will cost them almost 75% of a new one. That's why a projector with some technical drawbacks, but from a recognized brand and repairable in the event of a failure, is preferable to a projector that no one knows and you don't know if it can be repaired. The only thing the DALI 1 lacked was full HD to be complete, but at $99 that's not something you can fault. Besides, if you look at the image quality yourself from 2 or 3 meters away and remember how much it costs, I think you'll have no reason to be dissatisfied in the end. My friend, there are dozens of projector models and you can choose whichever you want. The DALI 1 is just another model launched for those people who can't afford to pay more than $100, which is a lot and is a good balance between cost and quality. Thanks for making it to the end, my friend. Subscribe and comment so we can do a head-to-head comparison between this DALI 1 and the T2 Ultra to find out which one is the best. Help me and let's democratize technology. See you in the next video.